Hello everyone, this is Andrew Prokowski checking in again from the fish room. Today's video is about Goodea atripinnis, or gracilis, depending on which classification you go by. This is actually just a fun little tank that I set up. I had that pirate ship for a little while, and the treasure chest is actually a Christmas present from the family. So, I love it. Let's see the bubbles go. Boom. Incredible. Alright, so this fish, common name is the blackfin Goodea, or the dusky splitfin, or some other combination of that. Common names can be tricky, which is why I prefer to go with the scientific classification. Although, as I had mentioned, it was somewhat confusing for these guys at the moment. So, the Goodea atripinnis is actually the largest of all the Goodeid species, so even bigger than the Aloaphorus robustus that I posted about not too long ago. I actually have spirulina flake in here right now. So they're swimming around, getting some. Nice. You can see these young fish are actually fairly spotted. And get nice, all grouped together. Beautiful, beautiful little creatures. Alright, I actually just obtained these fish at the last Chicago Livebearer Society meeting from my friend Larry, who sells fish on Aquabid under the handle Aquatic Al, one word. I think he has some of these posted actually. He's also a member of FFPAT, the Freshwater Fish Preservation Aquarius team that I'm also consists of my friend Chris Neal and also John Shreve. So those are my main Goodeid buddies. This is a pretty fascinating little fish. They're fairly active, and because I know they're going to grow fairly large too, I've been trying to feed them quite a bit. Beautiful little fish. Goodea atripinnis was first described in 1879 by David Starr Jordan for his friend George Brown Good, who's also the namesake for the family Goodeid. The Goodeid Working Group actually synonymizes atripinnis with gracilis, which is why I'm talking about both of them, but these fish would be based on the gracilis description by Turner in the 1930s. The specific epithet atripinnis refers to the black unpaired fins of the adult females, but since these are gracilis, which actually means slender, and I've heard these referred to as dusky splitfin, I've heard that these ones are a little bit just more gray, but that's fine. I still think they're pretty awesome, and I hope you're enjoying them as well. So, cool note about these guys is that they're actually found in a wide range of states in central Mexico, from the Atlantic slope to the Pacific slope. These fish are actually from the Rio Metztitlan, which is in Hidalgo, next to the state San Luis Potosi, and also I think Veracruz. I also have another type of Goodea atripinnis. Let's take a quick look at them. These are Goodea atripinnis, Michoacan. Fish from the western half of the range, or the western portion, being referred to as the atripinnis, represent the first ESU of Goodea. They're not necessarily cooperating right now. Alright, like these, the atripinnis that I have in that other tank are also very young, and from my same buddy. I had mentioned that these fish could potentially grow really large. The atripinnis reaching lengths of almost 8 inches, so that's something to be prepared for when considering purchasing this fish, since it will get fairly large and is one of the largest of all the live bears in the cyprinodonts. I forget if like anableps are also classified with them as well. But anyway, like I said, these fish are still young. The diet is primarily herbivorous, but I do supplement with some insect-based foods, like bug bites and stuff like that. Once again, this tank is for growing them out. Ultimately, these guys will end up in a much, much larger tank. Goes without saying. As with most of my Goodeids, I do keep them ambient to the room. It's anywhere between 64 and 72 in this tank. This is another one of those obscure live bears that relatively easy to maintain and worth picking up if you're a fan of the Goodeids, which you guys definitely know that I am. So once again, this has been Andrew Burkowski. If you like what I'm doing, hit like and subscribe, and I'll be sure to post more updates in the future. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.